All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Premier League football is back. Club football is back finally. Enough with these international matches that's been going around. And the happiest part is that the next international break is a while away. It's around March, I believe, next year. So until then, let's enjoy a lot of club football that's going to come our way. There's going to be Champions League. There's going to be Premier League, of course. Hopefully, there'll be Club World Cup as well before the international break next time around. So it's happy days. I want to know how each and every one of you are doing. Smash the like button as soon as you come in. This is how we're going to, basically expand the channel. The more likes means more views, means more people will get the recommendation, more fans will come in, and it's going to be a madness. And today we're going to talk about, obviously, Leicester versus Chelsea. That's the match coming up. It's the early kickoff. I mean, it's great for me being in Sydney, the early kickoff, because that means it's around 11:30 p.m. start, which is a good start for us. But I'm always a bit weary, one, about the early starts, and two, every time we come off the back of an international break, I don't know how we're really going to be performing. We don't necessarily perform well straight after an international break. But before we get into all of that, I want to connect with each and every one of you guys. I want to give you a shout out to all the people that have joined in. Smash the like button. As I said, I want to give you guys a shout out. Let me know where you are tuning in from as well. It'd be good to know where each and every one of you guys are tuning in. And Ishan will be joining very, very soon. He's just caught up with some work. He'll be here probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We've got a lot to talk about. We're obviously going to talk about the injury front, who's in, who's not. We're going to talk about all the things that Thomas Tuchel kind of touched on in the press conference. There was really good conversation about Conor Gallagher, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Kai Havertz. Really nice quote that he said about Kai Havertz. And we will definitely talk about all of that. And obviously, we'll talk about Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana's name was thrown around. Thomas Tuchel said that he's one of the most important players for Leicester, and him not being there probably transpires to how Leicester's kind of going this season. One of the reasons, I suppose. We then want to talk about Brendan Rodgers. I feel like we might catch Leicester at a very good time where, as much as Brendan Rodgers is trying to negate the situation that he's not thinking about the Man United job, it's not real, whatever the case is. Let's be honest, if Man United came knocking on the door, Brendan Rodgers would be leaving straight away. That Man United team may not be playing as a team right now, but individually, they're a very, very strong team. I've got no doubt that that Brendan Rodgers would take that job up, without any hesitation. So we'll talk a little bit about that, whether his mindset for this particular game is, correct or not. And obviously, we'll look at Leicester and their season so far, where they are in the table. They're not playing that well. So, we should be expecting 3 points. It's going to be difficult, but we should be expecting 3 points. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the lineup, the predicted lineup that we always do. It's really good to be back doing a live show with you guys. Honestly, the international breaks are absolute killer. So it's good to be back doing all of these stuff. So hope you guys enjoy each and every single one of these sort of topics that we talk about today. We've got Ishan here. Let's bring him on. Ishan, my boy, how you doing?
Miz, man, good to be back, isn't it?
Yeah.
International break over, and first of all, I'm sorry, I was late for a couple of minutes,
man.
but then
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be back, man. The boring international break is done. Now knowing the fact that there won't be any more international break until March, is it?
March, next year, bro. Next year, celebration.
Happy days, man. Happy days. Let's kickstart the Premier League once again, yeah.
Yeah, man. I was just saying that it's really good to be back doing these streams, and there's going to be plenty of it because so many matches lining up. But let's do the shout outs first of all. Frederick, really good to see you, my man. Finally, club football is back. Chef Jeff, lateness is greatness. That's more Matisse's motto. But thank you so much for joining. Shriram V, thank you so much for joining. How long should we wait to see Rom in action? Look, probably next week, I'd say. Yeah, he's just come back to training. He's definitely not going to play this weekend. He's definitely not going to play against Juventus. I don't think so. Maybe next week, a week's worth of training until he comes back. Perhaps we can expect next week. I mean, that's just my thought. Thomas Tuchel really hasn't said anything. Jonathan Jutro, really good to see you, my man. Amir Dogra, thank you so much. How are you, Miz? I'm really, really good. How you doing, Amir? Thank you so much for the super chat already. Super sticker. Thank you, heaps. So each and every one of you guys that donate to the channel, honestly, really, really appreciate it. Tumo Siele, big up Miz and the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Victor, thank you so much for being here. Big up everyone here. Make sure you smash that like button. Yeah, man. Keep smashing the like button. We've got nearly 30 people live. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to 30 straight away. Honestly, the more likes means the better this video will get, promoted by YouTube. It's all about algorithm. It's all about the likes. And I honestly need your likes to help the channel out and for the channel to grow. We've got Richard here. Thank you so much for joining. Aka is here. Michael Arthur is here. Thank you so much, each and every one of you guys, for joining. Ishan, let's get straight into this. Let's talk about the injuries, who's in, who's not. First of all, Kovacic and Lukaku are out. I'm not utterly surprised by this. I kind of expected they're going to be still out. Kovacic, I don't even think I saw him in training, any of the pictures. Lukaku, we all have seen some pictures, obviously, but I didn't expect him to start. Probably expected him maybe off the bench, maybe 10 minutes. But at the end of the day, I'm not surprised and I'm okay with it. And also, Thomas Tuchel said that he does not want anyone to rush back. We've got a strong squad, a deep squad. Everyone's going to get the minutes. And there's no need for players to be rushed back. I mean, what's your thoughts about these particular two players being out, first of all?
No, I was expecting that. Lukaku, he was showing signs of getting recovery, and it seemed like he would feature, maybe if not this game, then at least in Juventus. But I agree with you that at this point of time, it doesn't seem like he at least for this next 1 week, he would be featuring. But yes, I think so. Maybe for the next week, we might see Lukaku feature. But I would definitely want him to be back for Man United at least. I mean, it should be a good contest looking at Lukaku facing.
It'd be good to have him back for the Man United game, to be honest. And yeah. You're right. It's the fixture that we all wanted Lukaku to play.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, Kovacic as well. Even for him, it was a hamstring injury, is that miss? I mean,
yeah, Kovacic was hamstring. I think Thomas Tuchel kind of gave an indication that he might be out for a little bit longer. I don't think we'll see him for at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, hamstring injuries are tough, isn't it? I mean, I was expecting Kovacic to be out. Also, I was expecting Timo Werner to be out for long, but this guy is back. And
he's in the squad.
Yeah, he's in the squad. He might not be starting the game tomorrow, but he's fit. He's fit. He's had his full training session. He'll be having another training session before the match, and then he's fit. And this is what surprised me a lot, because I wasn't expecting Timo Werner to, be back with hamstring injuries. And we know the fact that hamstring injuries, usually takes quite a bit longer time and duration to get fully fit comparatively to the other injuries. And Timo Werner is back, and I'm happy in one way, because if this same injury would have been, occurred with Pulisic, he would have been gone out for months. It would have been the recovery rate of Timo Werner is impressive, and I must
give the flowers when I. He's an absolute machine. He really is.
I mean, 100%. If your body is there, you're mentally, you're able to recover from tough injuries, and where you're about to go out for maybe a month, you're recovering within 2-3 weeks. Yeah, it is a commendable job, and when you're available 100%. For the team, you have to give flowers to this player where he has the ability to.
And you know what, Ishan, we need all the bodies to be available, because we've got a lot of matches coming up, and as many players available only means better for the club. Let's talk about some of the players that are fit. Pulisic is fit. He played for USA in the international break as well, and he's ready to go. Thiago Silva is fit, but the travel situation could be a bit of an issue. Obviously, he traveled from Brazil, so there's that time difference and whatnot, but he's fit as well. I don't expect him to start, but that's okay. We've got good depth in that regards. We've got Christensen for him to cover. Mason Mount, Ishan, is 100% back. He's training well. He's looking good. He's upbeat. This is what Thomas Tuchel was saying. Whether he starts or not, we'll see what happens. And that pretty much covers our injury situation. So it's good news that both Mason Mount, Pulisic are raring to go. And also, as we have already talked about Timo, but especially Pulisic and Mason, Ishan, how positive is that for our team to have more options now up front, knowing Leicester's not going to be an easy team, and we could possibly need different options available from the bench if needed.
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, this is the phase, this November, late November, December, and January, these 3 months, especially the month of December. If you have all your players on their toes in the best of your form, and you perform the best on the month of December, or these, near about 50 days or so, if you'd like to say, the next 50 days, this is going to decide the title challenge, the whole race of the Premiership. It is going to decide, and it is going to show after 50 days from now, you can bet on a team saying that this team can win and has the capability of winning the Premier League for sure, 100%. Because this is the time where things go up and down very drastically. Just take the example of the last season. We were on top of the league at the same time last season. Exact same time.
Yeah. And then it all started going down.
And this was the exact phase, Miss, when we went to international break. We came back and boom, gone. Loss after loss after loss. We were at one point of time, we were first, but then another 0 showed up after first, and we went down to 10th. And we were no more first, but we were no more in position 1, but we were 1-0. Mr. Lampard got sacked, and here comes Thomas Tuchel. And we were the month of January, right? So in this, you could see that in the next span of 50 days, it's going to be the most crucial time of the season. And this is the time where you need to just make or break. Either you win or you just lose.
And you know what, Ishan? I said it all along in other channels as well, especially Matisse's channel and Eunice's channel recently, that these upcoming games up until December, I think we've got about 12 games, including Champions League, Carabao Cup and all of that. There's 12 games coming up till the end of December. If we manage to win everything, more or less, the draws into wins, the losses into draws, and not really lose that many. In fact, not any, if possible. By the time January 1st comes around, we will put ourselves in a very strong position if we can get through this particular, phase of play with as many wins as possible. If we screw this up, I feel like we could potentially damage the particular season. This period from now till the end of December is so crucial, right, Ishan?
So crucial. And it's so important, going back to the point that it's so important for our players to be fit at this point of time, because the fact that you're going to have probably in few coming weeks you're going to have 2 games in 3 days, probably, that is Watford and West Ham. You have Watford in one day, and you just have 1 day of rest, and the very next day you've got West Ham. So there's just 1 day rest between 2 Premier League games. And is it Premier League games or one is 2 legit Premier League games, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So important, so important to have a big squad, have a good squad depth, and also to have all your players clicking. And the return of Mason Mount, Pulisic, it's so important. I just hope we don't get players injured in this phase. It's going to be so crucial to have Pulisic fit, to have Timo Werner fit, Havertz, Mount, Ziyech, everybody fit. These all players would be used, Miss. What do you think? A player or an attacker like a Mason Mount who runs the whole 90 minutes is going to play 2 games in the span of 3 days? Not possible. Humanly not possible. He's definitely going to have to get rest in one of those 2 games. And especially in this whole 50 days span of time, you're going to have definitely going to have 2 or 3 games minimum in a week.
Right? Man. And they're all high intensity games as well. They're not easy games.
Champions League games.
Champions League games. We've got Juventus coming up. We've got Man United coming up. I know Man United's in a bit of a mud, but you never know what's going to happen. We've got West Ham coming up. We've got Aston Villa under Steven Gerrard coming up. So big games coming up. So, we have to make sure that players are staying, healthy. As you said, Ishan,
Yeah.
we can't overrun them. We cannot drag them into the mud. We've got a strong squad. We've got a deep squad. So we should be utilizing every single one of them. And hopefully that's exactly what we do. But let's move on to some of the other talks that has happened in the press conference, Ishan. That was very, very interesting. I want to talk quickly about Conor Gallagher. Thomas Tuchel said something very interesting about Conor Gallagher, and he said, look, he's not one bit surprised that he's doing well. He's actually very, very, he kind of expected this because, Conor Gallagher is a very good character. He's the kind of team player that you want in your team, that wants, he will listen to every instruction. He'll be hungry to train. He'll be hungry to work hard. And Thomas Tuchel goes on to even say, I would prefer to be his teammate. If Thomas Tuchel was a player, he would have preferred to have Conor Gallagher as his teammate. I mean, these are some big praises coming for Conor Gallagher. And Conor Gallagher listening to, his, I suppose, gaffer for next season when he comes back after the loan season's over. This is a positive feeling for Conor Gallagher, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, 100%, Miz. And I'm so excited the way Conor Gallagher has been performing. And this guy can definitely kill it in Chelsea. But the thing here is, there's so many options already. Already so many options. And we are thinking about Conor Gallagher. We are thinking about bringing a new midfielder, apparently between
But you know what, bro?
Declan Rice.
I think he'll break in. I think he'll break in next season. I think he'll break in.
He has to. He deserves it, Miss. He deserves it. At this rate, he deserves it. If this is the way he's played for this few couple of months, this is the way. If he continues for the next few months as well, and then finishes the league in high, he'll force it in. Yeah, he'll deserve it. He'll deserve it. And if not Chelsea, then there's definitely a big club coming for him. Definitely, for sure. I mean, the fact here is we would like the likes of Conor Gallagher in our team. Now the fact is, where would you want to play him? Where would you want to play him? Is it the double pivot in this particular system that we're talking about? I mean, definitely this is not the system what Crystal Palace is playing. Definitely not. It's a completely different system. And as far as Conor Gallagher is considered, you definitely look at him as a proper number 8, a proper central midfielder.
He's box to box.
Proper box-to-box CM, right? Yeah. For me, I think so. Looking at his game style, looking at his impact that he brings in the game, he reminds me more of a Mason Mount's role, the role that Mason Mount is playing at this point of time. Yes, he can be adjusted in the double pivot position, but that demands more of your defensive abilities to be at the peak. But is that what Conor Gallagher is all about at this point of time? I don't think so. Maybe he needs to work that. Is it possible? Definitely, yes. But that might take some time. Just like we played with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and this whole he tried to adjust himself in this team. That's the similar way Conor Gallagher might need to adjust himself in this team when it comes to the defensive attributes and coping himself up with that double pivot position. But as of now, looking at the whole gameplay that he's been playing, being a threat at the goal, being a threat at the box, being a proper box-to-box midfielder, I think so. He would be a very,
work
very good
rate as well, man. Defensive work rate, very solid too.
Yeah, I think so. Just like I said, for Mason Mount's position, he would be a proper replacement because Mason Mount does the same things for us that he's been doing at Crystal Palace. So for me, at this point of time, Conor Gallagher, if he comes in the next season and accepts the fact that he might not get the most of the game time that he has been getting in Crystal Palace, he might be the second option or the rotation player for Mason Mount. If that is accepted, then definitely fine. And it's not that the likes of Conor Gallagher that he's been producing so much in this season, he won't be sitting in the bench much. He definitely would be used, and definitely he would be used frequently, more frequently. And like Ruben Loftus-Cheek has been making his places in the team, definitely he will also get his chance. So if he's comfortable with that, definitely fine. Or else if he takes a Livramento turn, then definitely he might select some other club for getting some more game time, because if he plays good, he'll definitely demand frequent game time. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. For sure. Absolutely well said. Joe D, I want to bring a couple of comments here. Joe D is saying, I think the formation has to change next season. The midfield is our strength. I think this is something Thomas Tuchel probably needs to consider. He may not consider now, this particular season. It is what it is, 3 at the back and two in the pivot. But maybe next season you may want to consider, I don't know, maybe taking one defender out, putting another person in the midfield. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, players like Conor Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, as you said, the strength is in midfield, and you got to be able to utilize that. So we'll see what happens. Jonathan Jitro, Miz, do you think Mount is endangered by Gallagher? I don't know about endangered, but I think it's stiff competition, and it's good. I think Mason Mount will relish that situation as well. Mason would love the fact that there is a player that's going to push him, and Conor Gallagher will enjoy that competition as well. That I need to catch up. I need to make sure that I break into the team. So the way I see it, it's positive. We've seen Mason Mount when it comes to competition. I mean, Ishan, you even know when Mason Mount was hit with competition with Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Ziyech, Mason Mount came up on top. Mason Mount's the one that came up on top. So do not disregard Mason Mount when it comes to competition. This man lives for competition. So I've got no doubt he's going to come back. Every time people sort of think that Mason Mount might get trumped, trust me, he comes up on top most times. I want to now talk about Rudiger and Wesley Fofana, Ishan. Live chat. We've got 60 people live right now. Smash the like button. Let's get the likes up to 60 straight away. 60 likes. We're trying to hit 100 likes for the stream if we can. Last time Ishan and we were here, we actually ended up, I just had a look, it was more than 100 likes. So we've done well. So guys, you enjoyed the combination between me and Ishan. You love the streams that we put in this particular channel. So smash the like button, get those likes up to 60. Helps the channel out. If you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. Check out Ishan and his socials in the description, especially in his Instagram. Check him out. Ishan, I want to talk about Rudiger and Wesley Fofana. Thomas Tuchel, I found that because they asked about Leicester and their form, and Thomas Tuchel specifically pointed out Wesley Fofana. He said, well, they don't have Wesley Fofana. He's been injured and he's one of their key players. And that's probably why they're not looking that great in defense. I found that quite a bit strange because obviously there's been rumors about Wesley Fofana to Chelsea in recent times. I'm like, you didn't necessarily have to name a player, Thomas Tuchel. You could have just said, they've got injuries or whatnot. And he specifically said Wesley Fofana being injured. And then obviously the conversation was about Rudiger, how his contract situation is getting delayed. And Thomas Tuchel said, look, everyone knows what they want. Club wants him. Coach, manager wants Rudiger to stay. Rudiger wants to stay as well. But he also said these sort of things, there could be delays. It doesn't happen straight away at times. And we need to be patient. We'll see how it goes. Ishan, the question I want to ask you, I'm sort of thinking Rudiger is probably going to leave. I'm starting to believe that. I don't think we're going to find a solution for him. Are you going to be okay if we were to get Wesley Fofana, who, mind you, was probably one of the best defenders last season and 100% best young defender of the season? At the age of 20, it's unfortunate he copped an injury in the preseason. But it seems like he should be back next year around January, February. That's the return date. He's only 20 years old, Ishan, and we've seen what this particular defender is capable of. He's a mature defender, very aggressive, very strong defender. Overall game is fantastic. I know there's the risk with the injury, but I feel like this is the time. If we realize that we can't get Rudiger, this is probably the time to get him. Yes, there's risk, but high risk, high return. Do you know what I mean? You can't wait till this player becomes superstar again, because then Leicester's going to charge an arm and a leg. And his contract is still 2025. So, Ishan, how do you feel about Wesley Fofana?
Oh, man, an interesting prospect. And like you said, I mean, the timing is so suspicious because just now, just a few days ago, we've started to hear the rumors about Fofana getting interested by Chelsea, and apparently also Liverpool are interested. And
I think he said his dream clubs, Man United, City, and Chelsea are the dream clubs.
Chelsea, these three,
And then I think Liverpool are interested as well.
Yeah, Liverpool are interested externally. So the fact of the matter here is the player is great. The player is great. He'll be a great replacement. Should we now start to believe the fact that Rudiger is leaving? I think so. Yes, maybe.
I
I
think
mean,
so as well, man.
look, Thomas Tuchel has given his ideas on both the contracts, right? Christensen and Rudiger. Now look at the way
Yes.
he said about Christensen,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Bang
I
on.
mean, he's crystal clear on that Christensen's contract situation.
It was more
He's
positive. It was more
absolute
positive.
more
Yeah.
positive, more clear, and you could just see the body language of Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
It looked positive. He knew that it was maybe it is more on the positive side comparatively to what Rudiger is at this point of time. And for Christensen, he said that look, for all the everybody is on the same side here, the player, the
Yeah.
agent, the club, me, the other players, everybody wants him to stay. He himself wants to stay. Everybody's on
Yeah.
the positive track. I'm expecting a good news in the coming weeks. Now, when a manager says this, you should know the fact that it's done backdoors. You should
Yeah.
know the
Yeah.
fact that it's done backdoors. Now, if a manager says that I'm expecting good news, and if this falls down, bloody hell, what's
Yeah. Like
happening
it'll
to the
be the
club,
biggest
right?
surprise. Like you're right, because he said I'm expecting a good news soon. So
So it's
he's
already an
positive that it's gonna
indication.
happen.
It's already an indication that in the back doors it might be already done. It's just a matter of a signature now, and it's the matter
Yeah.
of media now to grab the things up. But when it comes to Rudiger, he had to give a long explanation of
Yeah.
this
he
and
seemed
that.
like he seemed like he knows the answer, Ishan, but he just didn't want to say it. He seemed like he wanted to
Yeah,
say it's not gonna happen.
yeah. It's like he wanted to say that, listen, it's difficult, but I don't want to be on the negative side of things here. But yeah, we need Rudiger, and we all know what kind of player he is, and this and that. I mean, he has to say that. He has to say that. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
he he definitely has to praise the fact that he's been our best centre back, and he has to say that it's pretty clear that we want him in the club. He wants to stay, but it's not just about that. There are lots of aspects that you need to consider. So that means even in Christensen's case, there are lots of aspects, but those are clear. And in
But those are
Rudiger's
clear.
case,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and in Rudiger's case, there are lots of aspects which are not clear. And it's not just me or about the club wanting Rudiger to stay, but there are other aspects as well that you need to look upon and
Hmm.
think. So yeah, I mean, and in the end of the day, he said, and I quote that Thomas Tuchel says that I'm very sure he's aware of it. I'm calm because I feel Tony and the situation is calm. And from this situation, I'm happy he plays like how he plays. We need him, and we need him at his kind of level. So definitely we need him, but things are not going good with
Yeah.
Rudiger's contract
Yeah.
situation. That's what we can, take as a conclusion from Thomas Tuchel's side. And at this point of time, I think so. We should start adjusting ourselves and try
I
to
think so.
synchronize our mind
I think
with the
so.
fact that yeah, it's going to be more than difficult to keep Rudiger. I don't think so. We would see Rudiger in Chelsea colours next season. The thing that would hurt me is I don't want to see him leave for free. That's the only
Yeah.
thing now that would hurt me a lot, because all right, fine, we're Chelsea Football Club, we will get a defender, we'll get a replacement. I know we won't get that of a Rudiger level nourishment. We would have to nourish the player to
Yeah.
reach that Rudiger level. We won't get that killer mentality, that leadership as Rudiger, but we'll eventually get up there. But the thing is, after such a high level performance for 1 year roughly for Rudiger, I don't want him to leave for free.
But
That's
you
the
know what,
only thing which
Ishan? You know what? It's a misfortune because he was okay. Obviously, he was good under Sarri. Then he had the injury during the Frank Lampard era. Then he came back from the injury. He wasn't looking good under Frank Lampard.
yeah.
And he was at a point where the club was looking to sell him just before Thomas Tuchel actually came. In
Yeah.
January, he was looking to be sold or loaned away.
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel comes in and he absolutely changes Rudiger. Rudiger becomes world class.
Yeah.
So you can see how this. I can't really blame the club either because the club was looking to sell him because they weren't
Yeah.
getting They weren't getting
I
what they
mean,
wanted
how
to
can
get
you
from
even
Rudiger.
blame when even the fans wanted him sold at one point of time?
Exactly. So from that situation, Rudiger turned everything around, and now it's all on Rudiger's hands. The club can't
And he
do anything
deserves
about it.
that, miss. He deserves the situation, right?
Hundred
After
percent
being
deserves
slandered
it.
from the fans, after the club wanting him to be sold, the journalists turning against him, he deserves this
Hundred
trump
percent
card in his
deserves
hand.
this. 100%, because a man who is able to turn their fortunes around the way he has, he deserves the situation, and he deserves to demand whatever he wants. But the issue is Chelsea's not going to bend over backwards for anyone. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea's not going to do
Yeah.
that anymore. I think they might have tabled something decent for him, or maybe half decent, whatever the case is. But it's not good enough for Rudiger, which is absolutely fine. But the question I want to ask you, I mean, are you going to be happy if it's someone like Wesley Fofana, for example? I know there are other names, but if it was someone like Wesley Fofana, would
Yeah.
that be an exciting sort of future prospect for you, knowing he's 20, but
Yeah.
he's somewhat Premier League proven as well, Ishan? Do you know what I mean? Like, he had a fantastic season last season. So would that excite you a little bit, that Fofana's coming in, something we can build around Christensen maybe in the future?
You know what? The reality check here is Fofana is more of a possibility than Matthias Delict. 100% more of a
Oh, for
possibility.
sure, man. I don't even think
Yeah.
Matthias de Ligt is his wages are
and
insane.
and and you know what, Miz, his agent, that
Oh,
goblin again, Goblin
yeah.
Raiola. Yeah. I mean, that is more, for sure. For Fofana is more of a possibility than Delict. And we've already, if according to Simon Phillips' tweet, if we've already signed Attilia Zalai, according to Simon Phillips, for six. How much was the fee? 6.4,
42,
or sorry,
something,
what I'm
24,
saying.
something like that, 23.4.
Yeah, something like that. Mad numbers. So if that's the case, so maybe we've got a backup there. We've already got a
Yeah.
backup, knowing the fact that he's left footer, and like we've already discussed, the fact that left-footed centre back is what Thomas Tuchel would want to replace Rudiger with. I think so. Fofana would already be, a nurtured player in that centre back role. And Leicester were mad last season with Fofana and Justin as well.
Oh,
If you'd remember
yeah.
Justin, these
Justin
two
as
guys
well,
were
yeah.
killing it. These two
Their
guys were
defense
killing it.
was solid with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the fact that they had Castagne injured, and then they had a couple of injuries as well. And it
Yeah.
was Justin and Fofana. I mean, they were lighting things up like hell there. I mean, and they were also a great threat to goal. Justin was scoring goals left, right, and center in
Yeah.
last season. And unfortunately, he got he came up with a big injury. But the thing here is, Fofana is going to be a good prospect, but it's going to be interesting to see, Miss. What are the release clause? Like you said, the contract ends in 2025.
2025. Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any release clause? If not, then we go to the negotiation table, and if that's the scene, then Leicester has an upper hand. And
We've been able to
also,
negotiate with Leicester. Like,
yeah,
we've
for sure.
done Ben Chilwell recently. Obviously, can't take Danny
Kante as well.
Drinkwater.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But yeah, I think so. It'll be interesting to see in the upcoming days. But for sure, Fofana, if Zalai comes on as well, then what happens to Kunde? That's also a question there. And I think so. In this January transfer market, there definitely would be some news regarding Kunde. If not January, maybe the next summer we might see Kunde,
Yeah.
because, like I
I
said,
think
Niz, yeah, this deal has gone way too far the last time to get rejected now, and Kunde is staying at Sevilla, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, the Kunde situation is probably not dead yet, but maybe both the club and the player might just move on from this. I know it came very close. It could still happen, but who knows? Maybe there could be other suitors now, other clubs that might come into it. But let's move on to, before we do that, Gustav, thank you so much for this commentary. Levi Colwell might break into the team next season. Your thoughts on him is, look, Levi Colwell is doing brilliantly for Huddersfield. Don't get me wrong. And he could possibly break into the team. Now, whether he starts is a different situation. So
Also, Miss has very quickly has Thiago Silva renewed almost in the verge of
he
renewing his
hasn't,
contract.
but the conversation is that he will probably renew one more season because he wants to stay fit for the World Cup, which makes sense. So, I could imagine him staying at Chelsea for one more season. Leroy
Yeah,
Colwell, look, I would not be surprised if he's in the setup for the team next season. He's doing really well. But I also won't be surprised if he was to get a Premier League loan. So he's got
yeah.
himself a championship loan and he's doing well. And he hopefully
Agreed.
stays fit and does, finishes off the season brilliantly. Then there could be two possibilities. Either he comes into the setup with us and he will get that opportunity just like Chalobah did. And if he impresses, he'll get into the team. And if
Yeah.
he's somewhat sort of okay, she'll probably still stay as a rotation. If not, he'll get loaned out to a Premier League team, which is fine as well. Kill it in the loans. Don't disregard the loans. So I think long-term, Levi Colwell has a future. But someone like Wesley Fofana, with players like Thiago Silva possibly leaving after another season, Aspilicueta maybe another couple of seasons, max 3 seasons. So we do need to think about the future, and if we can secure the players right now, why not? Why not? So that's my feeling in regards to the whole situation. Okay, Ishan, let's talk about a couple of more players for the press conference before we start talking about Brendan Rodgers and some interesting sort of situation that's happening with Brendan Rodgers. Callum Hudson-Odoi and Kai Havertz, two players that Thomas Tuchel were talking about. Firstly, let's talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi, the fact that he hasn't played in the international duty. He's rejecting, playing for under-21s, which I'm absolutely okay with, to be honest, because players like Conor Gallagher, players like, who else? I can't remember, Smith Rowe, they're making it directly into the England team. So why does Callum Hudson-Odoi need to play for under-21s in order to make it to the England team? You're not going to make it to the England team by playing for under-21s. You're going to make it to the England team by playing well for your club. That's what makes you to the national team. Playing for under-21s, it doesn't give you any sort of shout. So I'm happy with that. And Thomas Tuchel also said that Callum will keep getting minutes. Looks like he was very positive that he could possibly start. He said, we'll see whether he starts or not, but he was quite positive about it. And I feel like Callum might have just turned a leaf, man. I feel like the moment he had before the international break where a lot of players were injured, he, I think, was probably one of the very few players that took his opportunity and really put his hand up that once everyone is fit, I still want to be in the conversation. Before we go to Kai Havertz, what's your feelings about Callum Hudson-Odoi? I feel like it's in the positive trajectory at the moment.
It is, and he's got an upper hand now, like you said, Miss. I mean, he's got that momentum of games. He's been very decent to me. I mean, the run of games that he's got, he's been very decent. You can't say the same with Hakim Ziyech, and definitely even Kai Havertz as well. I mean, he's not looked the best of what we needed him to be. In the absence of Lukaku, we really needed him to step up, but that might not be the level of output that he's been producing. But as far as Hudson-Odoi is considered, I think so he's been very decent. Also, now the thing here is he's got a competition now. Christian Pulisic is back, and Christian Pulisic is quite fit. Now the thing here is, will that alter Hudson-Odoi's game time? And also you might see the likes of Timo Werner joining the squad maybe in the next
competition
week.
Is stiff, bro. Competition is stiff.
Now you see that, right? Werner's back, Pulisic is back, and now it's hard to think about Hudson-Odoi, even after such a good form of games, because you know that the attributes that Werner and Pulisic has, it might be difficult for Thomas Tuchel to overlook these players and give Hudson-Odoi the start. Hudson-Odoi might be getting the game time after second half maybe, but it'll take a lot of gut from Thomas Tuchel to start Callum Hudson-Odoi, irrespective of the fact that he's been very brilliant and very decent in the last few games amidst all the injuries. But when you have the likes of Pulisic 100% fit, Werner 100% fit, you know that these guys come with some abilities and some technicalities in the team that is quite irreplaceable, and that becomes difficult for Hudson-Odoi. But let's not take anything away from him. He's been very, very decent, but I think so for at least for a few games as well. And like you said, he's been there at Cobham. He's rejected his international call up for under 21s. He's been there training hard, and I think so that creates an impact in the manager's mind. When you have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
connectivity constantly with the manager,
That
you definitely,
determination, that
yeah,
determination.
yeah, yeah. That for sure, that determination, that continuity, that momentum that you carry in the training pitch day in day out, knowing the fact that your other competitors in the team are not available, and you have that advantage to be in touch with your manager day in day out in the training pitch. I think so that does count, and that will definitely come into play sometime or the other. And I think so. If you take my opinion at this point of time, he needs to get the continuity.
Yeah.
Pulisic might not be 100% fit.
Bro, he deserves it, Ishan. He
Yeah,
deserves
he
the
deserves.
continuity. He's been playing well. The only thing I'll say about Callum is now I'm pretty certain he will probably start against Leicester. I'm pretty certain he'll probably start. I
Yeah,
need Callum to make sure keep smashing it every game, my man. Every game, act like this is your last game. Throw in the kitchen sink, play
yeah,
well, and not just with the ball, without the ball. It's the defensive work that you do will impress Thomas Tuchel a lot as well. Tracking back, pressing, winning the ball back, counter pressing. So all of
yeah,
this is very, very important. Callum with the ball is fantastic, and I don't think you need any motivation for him to do well there. He will do well there. But off
yeah,
the ball, if he can, make sure that he's always focused, I think that will be the biggest advantage over the other players. I know Timo's got great work rate, that's fine,
yeah,
but I feel like Callum, creative wise, has a little bit more to offer than Timo. I know Timo's got a lot of assists, but those assists, they're not the caliber of Callum's assists. Let's be honest. Callum
yeah,
Hudson-Odoi's assists are top-notch assists. And that's not taking anything away from Timo. Timo is a good player on his own.
yeah,
But if he can manage to bring the defensive qualities along with the attacking, I think that will go a long way for Callum Hudson-Odoi. And I hope he goes like this, because this season, there was a particular tweet from the Chelsea admin in Twitter. Most chances created was by Callum Hudson-Odoi, 19, which is incredible. So we should not disregard this. Ishan, I want to talk about Kai Havertz now. The last
yeah.
bit of talk in the press conference before we go to Brendan Rodgers. In regards to Kai Havertz, Ishan, it was a very interesting comment that Thomas Tuchel said. He said, you can't, if you pull the grass, the grass doesn't grow faster. So meaning
Yeah.
you got to stay patient. You have to stay patient with Kai Havertz, because the journalist was asking about Kai Havertz and he said, they were saying, you're going to expect more goals from Kai. He's been scoring goals in international. He's been scoring goals in the club. And he said that by pulling the grass, you're not going to make it grow faster. So you have to be very patient. Do you feel that's what we need to be? Sometimes us fans, we're a bit too critical and we want things immediately from Kai Havertz because of the price tag, perhaps. We are forgetting he's only 21 still, or he might have been 22 now. I mean, is there a case to stay patient? Stay patient. The fruits will come, and there has been signs that the fruits are there. And I know the frustration at times because it's Chelsea Football Club. We don't want to stay patient. We need performances straight away. But
Yeah.
Ishan, do you feel at times maybe we need to just remind ourselves Kai Havertz will come good? We just need to stay patient.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. My thought from this Kai Havertz perspective is that I think so the price tag is troubling him, and his performance and his people's expectations. And you definitely, if you're a 21 year old and you're one of the most expensive players your club has ever afforded, I think so it automatically builds a pressure on you. It automatically
And
does.
also the
Even if,
tag generational. They keep throwing
yeah,
generational, and it must sort of be heavy on him.
for sure, man, for sure, it's an added pressure for sure. But I think so definitely we need to stay patient. In fact, this is something we need to say for every youngster, I mean, who's in the
Yeah.
club, for who are around 20, 21, 22, 23, for that matter. We need to stay patient. But the thing is, if the whole team is based on youngsters, and you would say that I would want patience and from all of those, because look at our front three: Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic. I mean, what are their age? 20, 21, 22,
Yeah,
20,
so
23,
young, man.
24,
So young.
tops. So
Yeah.
definitely, even us as a fan, we can't say that, all right, these guys all are young, let's stay patient, let's not score goals, and we'll stay patient. It's not that, right? So there is a certain vision towards this patience level is as far as this concerned. You definitely, if you're starting continuously, yeah, and if you're playing as a unit for time and time again, you definitely expect good performances and improvements for every performances. You can have some up and downs here and there, fine, but you need to have performances. And when you're expected to perform well, if you don't perform well at that point of time, that's not good for you, right, as a
Yeah.
youngster. But there are certain games when you might not deserve. You'd remember, Miss, the time when Frank Lampard was a manager, yeah. And let's
Yeah.
think at that point of time when Mason Mount was being reused much more than what he should be used. Why? Because there were a lot of games where he was not performing at his best. Mason Mount was
Exactly.
like somewhat overused. You would like to say he was overburned, and still he was looking tired physically and mentally as well, but still he was being played. And we all knew the fact that he was being overplayed. Let him get a rest. He's not playing well, and it's visible in a clear daylight that he's not playing well. He needs to be changed, but still he was playing continuously. That's where it gets a bit impatient from majority part of the fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you know the fact that you're not playing well, you need a rest. And at that point of time, when you're used more and more, and then poor performances on top of poor performances just gets bundled and bundled, it
Yeah.
becomes
It just keeps
difficult.
piling up. Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes difficult for the fans to just accept the fact that they're youngsters and they need chance, so that gets overlooked. So for me, it's so important for the manager and the whole team management to use Kai Havertz properly, the way Man City have been using Phil Foden,
Yeah.
the way Atletico Madrid have been using Joao Felix, the
Yeah.
way Real Madrid have been using Vinicius Junior. It's a very systematic.
How good is Vinicius Junior now, man?
Just look at what he's
Patience,
become now.
patience, patience, patience. Because when he first started, he wasn't that great.
Yeah, but likewise, Miss, when you're expected that this player should perform with this team with that level of intensity, he should develop and he should deliver
Yeah.
at that point of time. If you don't, then again, that process has to nurture, because you cannot, when you have options at the bench here and you're still coming up with that, the young player thinking that he learned from that experience, and that poor performances start piling up, that's not good. And that's what we
Yeah.
were seeing with Mason Mount. But luckily things went well there. But yeah, the only bottom line that we can get here with Kai Havertz situation, and not just Kai, but all the young performance players that we have in our team, is that the process of gradual development should be we should be patient with that. But also the team, the manager, the whole management should use these players very judiciously and cautiously, in the sense of developing themselves. Then not in the vision of making that player develop his own personal skills, but also from the team's perspective, that the team wants you, then you have to perform today. That's kind of an added pressure on him. But
Yeah.
if you concentrate on these individual performances to better and develop day by day, and once that is nurtured, fine, then after 1 year, 2 year, that player will automatically perform for the team, like Phil Foden is performing, like the likes of Vinicius Junior and like of Ansu Fati is performing. So they'll come naturally. So maybe I think so we would need to use these guys very judiciously.
No, absolutely well said, Ishan. Really good comment here from Akaka. Either Kai is generational, so we judge him like that, or he's a very good player and we're giving him patience. Regardless, we do not give him time, but at the end of the day, regardless, we do need to give him time. But at the end of the day, you're playing for Chelsea. This is well said. We do need to give you time, but you need to also know you're playing for Chelsea. So you have to also play well and make sure the performances and development is going the right way. But look, I think at times we're a bit too critical, maybe even me, a bit too critical about Kai Havertz. Overall, I think he's been quite okay, to be honest, quite okay. Pri, thank you so much, Pri. It's been a long time since I saw you in the stream. Really, really good to see you. Miz, You're going to talk about the French leagues, need separate stream for that. Yeah, man. Ishan, I don't know if you've seen the madness that is happening. This particular individual, Romain Molina, he is exposing everyone in football, man. He's exposing so many French footballers and French hierarchies and French related stuff, a lot of the French stuff. Also, actually, even things about Hakim Ziyech. So I don't know if you saw this, Ishan.
Wow.
Maybe we can keep this for another stream. But
Yeah.
I was baffled, man. I was in shock in reading some of these things today. The stuff that I read about, Benjamin Mendy and a few of the other stuff. My days, man, it's incredible. But maybe it's for another stream. Perhaps we'll create a stream. We'll see what happens. Ishan, let's talk about Brendan Rodgers. But before we do that, guys, we've got nearly 120 people live. This is fantastic to see. You guys are enjoying it. I can see it in the live chat. You guys are buzzing. Smash the like button. Get the likes up to 100 straight away. Helps the channel out a lot. Helps this particular video to be exposed to more fans out there so they can see this particular discussion. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Keep the comments coming. Keep the likes smashing. And check out Ishan and his socials as well in the description. Keep that coming as well. Now we're going to talk about Brendan Rodgers. Some really, really interesting stuff happening with Brendan Rodgers, Ishan. And I want to really talk about this. First of all, this is what Brendan Rodgers had to say about Chelsea yesterday. It's a big challenge because they're a fantastic team. Thomas has got them organized and working well. They have an outstanding manager and an incredible squad of players who have the confidence of winning big title. He goes on to further saying they can bring players in and it doesn't make a difference. The level is really high tactically and technically. Further on, he goes on to say, when you play the big teams, you need to be you need to be at the top of your game. You need to be relentless in your work. And you need a bit of luck as well. We'll be ready for it. I do want to show you a few of the other things that he's been saying, which is quite interesting. So where is it? So he's talked about Chelsea. He said a few nice things about Chilwell as well. By the way, this is going to be quite interesting. Play Chilwell going back to Leicester and we'll see exactly what happens there. Hopefully Chilwell scores a goal for us. Honestly, that'll be mad. He's a very talented player and he was great to work with. He's now moved on and it takes a bit of time. I said that to him before he left, that it takes a bit of time to adjust to the expectations. Then he goes on to say he's playing in a more advanced position, so that allows him to get into the box. I always wish him well, and the club did well when we moved on. He further on talks about here's another interesting. We'll touch on this. Leicester City boss Brendan Rodgers has confirmed Yuri Tielemans is out for few weeks, so he will miss. We'll obviously talk about this. I want to quickly go to Fabrizio Romano and what he had to say about Brendan Rodgers. So obviously he had some really good praises for Chelsea, which is fantastic. Praise for Ben Chilwell as well, and obviously we'll talk about the Yuri Tielemans stuff. But this is what he had to say about Brendan Rodgers. Well, this is what Brendan Rodgers said. Brendan Rodgers, I'm happy and proud to be Leicester manager. I'm fully committed to this club. Players, ownership, all the other noise around is something we can't control. It's frustrating to see these rumours. I'm Leicester City manager, he said to Sky. Then he goes on to say, Leicester manager Brendan Rodgers on Man United rumours. It's really disrespectful for you to ask the question when you have a good manager and a good man who's working at the club. Secondly, I can't comment on it because it's something that's not real. Ishan, I want to talk about this because I feel like as much as Brendan Rodgers is trying to deny that there's no rumors about Man United. No one's talked to me about Man United. Come on, my man. You know Man United has knocked on your door. You know there's the interest. You know Man United wants you. Ishan, I feel like if Man United came in with a solid proposal, this man would leave, because at the end of the day, Man United team individually are far superior than Leicester's team. As a team right now, they're not playing well, and that's a lot to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Someone like Brendan Rodgers would relish to manage a club like Man United. Very, very a club with a lot of heritage, history. He would love it. I mean, Ishan, I feel like this is a good time to play Leicester. I feel we could catch them when they're not completely concentrating, because the players would probably know our gaffer is probably getting rumoured with another club, and Brendan
Yeah.
Rodgers knows he's getting rumoured with another club. I mean, we could catch them just lacking the focus in this particular match. Ishan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Hit the iron when it's hot, isn't it? And this is the time. This is the time when Brandon Rodgers definitely might be thinking, like you said, if Man United comes knocking on the door with
I'm going.
with a form which has Ronaldo on the front of it, oh, forget about Leicester. You're gonna reject top clubs.
Sancho, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, Van der Beek. I mean, come on.
And I believe that Brendan Rodgers definitely is going to do very, very good with that squad. He's definitely, for sure, definitely going to be better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But the thing is, Brendan Rodgers, he's an experienced manager. He knows how to control these big teams. He's been a very good manager at Liverpool as well. And now at Leicester, he's won the FA Cup. Unfortunately against us, but then still it is what it is. And but I think so. He'll do very, very good at Man United. But yeah, if Man United comes knocking on your doors, you're definitely packing your bags. You definitely, maybe at your hotel room, you might be packing your bags. Definitely, you're not saying that in the press conference that your bags are being packed. You're
They
opening
need to
up
check
zips.
under the table of the press conference. Probably has his bag ready under the table. Do you know?
You're opening up and closing up zips very frequently now. But that's for sure what you're doing. But the thing here is, it'll be interesting to see which direction Man United goes as well. I think so. Brendan Rodgers might not be their first option as things stands. Maybe they're inclining towards Zinedine Zidane if that's a scenario there.
Yeah.
If Zidane agrees Man United, then I think so. Rodgers stays at Leicester. But if not Zidane, which is looking like highly unlikely because he might be actually concentrating at the French job, international job.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, you might see the likes of Brendan Rodgers heading towards Man United, and you never know. You never know what happens. But yeah, for sure, Man United. I mean, Leicester are definitely now. In a speed breaker now.
Surely, Ishan, for the players, it'll be a little bit of an unsettling situation knowing this gaffer could probably leave. Like, it's I mean, I know a lot of people will say, these individuals are professionals, they come in and they do their job, but at the end of the day, they're human beings as well. Like, it will play in their mind that my gaffer, my boss, like Ishan, you can imagine, I don't know, back in uni days or even at work, a particular lecturer, a particular teacher, or a particular boss that you're very close with, and you start hearing rumors that they're about to leave, you start feeling a little bit of a palpitation that, oh man, I don't feel too
and
good.
Probably, if you're a favorite student, you'd already know that this guy is gone.
He's gone. This guy's probably gone. He's probably going to get a pretty good offer somewhere else, and you start feeling a bit shaky inside. That how am I going to be without him or her? How am I going to do well? Do you know what I mean? So you feel a bit unsettled. Do you feel we could perhaps take advantage of this?
I think so. We have to, man. We have to. The game is in King Power Stadium. It's not Stamford Bridge, and it's their home ground. Definitely, it's always a tough ask for you to perform. But look at the way Arsenal slapped them. I mean, wow! It was just a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. They've scored.
We need to beat them, bro. If Arsenal can beat them, we need to beat them, please.
Yeah, and I think so. Arsenal played very, very well in that game. They were all over Leicester the whole game. They were all over Leicester, and I think so. They played brilliantly, and we need to, put that kind of work rate. I'll be very honest with you, because Arsenal were good, were literally good, and I thought so that Leicester were the only team that Arsenal thought that it would be difficult to beat them, but they still went on to beat them, and very much comprehensively, I would say, when we talk about the gameplay. So, team stability-wise, we're definitely more overpowered than them, and also we should be going ahead and aiming to win this. Also, the thing here is we can't be losing points. We know the fact that we've lost points against Burnley. And I thankfully there was an international break, and I almost forgot that game, and I don't want to remember it as well because I really didn't want to lose those 2 points that we've lost against Burnley at home, that too in Stamford Bridge. So that really hurts, and we cannot afford any more. We cannot afford to lose any single points. So I really hope we get a win, and I think so. It's very much possible because they're not looking at the best of the form. Is to be very, very honest. Keep apart this Brendan Rodgers, rumors and all of those stuffs. Performance-wise as well, they haven't been good. Their defense looks very edgy.
They haven't been good. And also, Yuri Telemans, Ishan, he's not going to be there. He's probably been their best player so far this season.
Yeah, for sure. And, Tillemans has scored some screamers already this season. Some screamers. And he's a guy who's been playing well, although that's not something that I would say when he plays with Belgium. That's kind of something contrasting because the system is different, but against Leicester he becomes a different person. I mean, the way he complements with Iheanacho, sometimes Vardy, and also Madison. And
don't
also
forget
Soumare.
Patson Daka these days. Patson Daka is becoming a bit of a threat.
Definitely.
We've
seen the rise of Iheanacho and the downfall of Iheanacho so quickly. Now we've seen the rising of Daka, and I think so. If we keep Daka quiet, I think so we'd be comfortable there.
No, 100%. Let's see if Daka starts or not. Will be interesting to see. But I think
also miss Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes is another top player, man. Another top
what
player.
A goal he scored.
It's a team that deserves respect. It's a team that's beaten us in the FA Cup. It's a team that we beat straight after the FA Cup, which is fine. It's a team that slapped us when we were under Frank Lampard, and it's a team that sacked Lampard as well straight after that game. So we need to go out there and show them respect, and we need to treat them like a proper club, obviously, and beat them. We have to beat them. As Ishan said, as you guys know in the live chat, the 2 points dropped against Burnley, we need to recoup it. Yeah, Arsenal's playing Liverpool this weekend, so there could be some sort of issues there. There could be a draw. I don't know. There could be an upset. I highly doubt it, but there could be. You never know. And if there is...
Can you imagine, Miss, if Arsenal wins, they're over Liverpool in the league table?
Bro, unbelievable. After having lost the first three, incredible if that happens. And then obviously Man City, I believe they're playing Everton, so you never know what could happen there. Some crazy stuff can happen off the back of an international break. So this is the time. If we get a victory, we could possibly have this particular weekend some other results going for us. So it'll be very, very interesting. Okay, we've talked about Brendan Rodgers. We've talked a little bit about Leicester and their form and whatnot. We know the kind of football they play, so there's no need to elaborate too much on that. Let's go straight into the lineups. This is what we've been waiting for. But before we do that, 130 live right now. Smash the like button. Let's get the likes up to 100 straight away. We're going to do the lineup. You guys are going to get involved as well. We want to know, each and every one of you guys, the comments, how you'd like the lineup when we bring up that particular visual. So smash the like button. Let's get the likes up to 100. The aim is 100 likes for the stream, which will be incredible. Let's get straight into this. If you're here for the first time as well, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Okay. So, Ishan, here we go, bad boy. We are going to start this lineup. Obviously, we're going to start from the back. Ishan, I'll let you have the goalkeeper and the three at the back. And then I'll give you my comments on it. Obviously, Mendy over here.
Yeah, for sure, Mendy. I mean, Mendy starts definitely. Straight away going to the back three, maybe. Yeah, Rudiger has to play. It has to be Rudiger. No doubts about that. Having known the fact that Thiago Silva might not be fit tomorrow, it has to be Christensen. Now, here is something which gets...
This is where the trouble is always, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
And this player is generally linked with this player.
Exactly. Listen now, I'll have to consider that right wing back position as well, right? Yeah. Now, if you consider the fact that Azpilicueta, you'd want to see him at the right centre back position, I don't think so. That's happening because we have not seen Azpilicueta play in that
By the way,
position
ladies
in
and
this
gentlemen,
season.
big dog, Eunice Talks Football is in the house. Good to see you, Eunice. Go on, Ishan.
Big fan, Eunice, big fan. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, now considering the fact that if you want to think the fact that Azpilicueta would be an option at the right centre back, have you ever seen Azpilicueta this season play at that position? I've not seen him. Right, I've not seen him.
Actually, he hasn't. You're right. I don't think he has played right centre back this season. Is he a
Right?
right
So-
wing back now? Is he a right wing back?
He's a right wing back as an alternate option to Reece James, right?
Wow,
And
man,
also
wow.
considering the fact that if you'd want Reece James as a right wing back, he's played both the matches with England in the international break, right? So is it that you want to give him a break for Juventus, or would you play Azpilicueta in the right wing back, and you'd want Chalobah at the right sided centre back? So there's
Very
a bit of a
interesting,
balance
Ishan.
that you want to find. So
I think.
when are we
Ishan,
playing Juventus, miss?
Just to interject, Juventus is Tuesday, by the way.
Wednesday?
It'll be Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday night. Just to interject, I need to see Reece James, Ishan. I need to see Reece James. He's a goal threat for us. If we don't have Reece James, then we don't have goals. So I need goals, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Then I think so. We would have to have
You're
maybe
thinking Chalobah?
Chalobah. Yeah,
You think
it
it's
has to
Chalobah?
be Chalobah. Yeah, it has to be Chalobah, miss, because I would happily play Aspi at the right centre back, miss. You know that. I mean, I definitely like Aspi at that right centre back role. And now
Do
since
you not think it's going to be Aspi? Do you think it's definitely going to be Chalobah? I think the captain will play.
yeah, I mean we've gone with this lineup previously as well, where Azpilicueta hasn't featured at all, and we've got a shocker from Mr. Tommy Tuchel that things have changed now, and Leicester is a fast-paced team.
This is a good point right there.
Forget about Vardy. Look at Harvey Barnes that you need to control at the right side.
Yep.
It's going to be very difficult to keep up pace with Harvey Barnes. And that guy is fast. He is fast. Also Daka as well, right? So you need to have quick legs there. So maybe you need to have a Chalobah there. So I would happily go Chalobah.
I like this shout. I really do. I think Chalobah has been fantastic on the RCB role. No disrespect to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta is the club captain. Fantastic servant for the club. And generally when he plays, he does not drop anything less than 7.5. Honestly, he's always good. But Ishan puts a very good point. The live chat puts a very good point. The pace is going to be electric. And is Azpilicueta going to be up for it? I mean, Ishan, final thoughts on that particular situation. Chalobah for you?
Yeah, for sure, Chalobah. But if you'd want to see Azpilicueta, then you have to accept the fact that Reece James is getting a rest. Or else I don't see Azpilicueta in the squad tomorrow because definitely I've not seen him play at the right centre back position. So for that matter, it has to be Chalobah there. And if you accept the fact that Reece James is on the bench for tomorrow, then you might see the chance of Azpilicueta playing at the right wing back position. Or else you might, if like you're saying, Miz, if you'd want Reece James to continue with that momentum, and with that goal scoring threat, then maybe you have to see Azpilicueta on the bench tomorrow.
Bro, for me, Reece James is one of the best right-sided player in the league right now. Forget about right wing back, forget about right back, forget about right wing. Like, he's probably one of the best ones at the right side, period. So he's scoring goals, he's assisting. I need this man to play. He's one of our goal threats at the moment. And it'll be mad to not see Reece James, to be honest. And not to say Aspi can't do a job. Aspi definitely can do a job on the right wing back as well. No doubt about that. But he does not have that added quality like Reece has in terms of shooting technique, in terms of, I suppose, that just straight up power that Reece has. Once again, no disrespect to Aspi. Aspi is a fantastic player, but I like this. Okay, let's move on to the left wing back, and I'll also do the midfield and then see what Ishan and the live chat has to say about this. For me, it's our other goal scorer, Ben Chilwell. Reece James and Ben Chilwell, our top goal scorers at the moment in terms of, I mean, not statistics wise, but in terms of form. There's a lot of goals coming from these two particular lads, and it's because these guys are pushing into areas like this, pushing into areas like that, and that's why we are getting goals. So I definitely want to see Chilwell. And Thomas Tuchel said that our wing backs in this particular system are actually midfielders. They're not really defenders. They're actually midfielders. And in the middle, this one's a bit difficult. N'Golo Kante is back, and I do want to see N'Golo Kante. I really do. I have to see in this particular match against Leicester, who are going to be very, very combative in midfield, and they're going to be quite pacey, and they're a very decent team. I do want to see N'Golo Kante. Kovacic is obviously out, which leaves a Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kante could be a bit of an issue in terms of keeping us a bit too open in the back. We do need a sitter. We do need someone who's able to intercept. So, intercept and read the play and build up from the back. I love Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and I would have loved him to start. But
look what Yunus says, Miss, in the chat.
Playground Lasso. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the latest episode from All You Can Eat Chelsea, where we did the drafts,
guys, go watch it, man. Best show ever.
Check it out. I mean, Yunus did some madness. He picked all these classics from Chelsea. Graham Lasso in left back. He picked,
Miss, listen.
Dennis Wise.
I was on your side, yeah. I was on your side, but the moment you selected Bosingwa, yeah, I was done with you.
Come on, bro. Allow it, Ishan. My team was quite solid, wasn't it? It was a solid team. I think it pretty much trumped all of their teams, but that Bosingwa situation killed it.
The moment you uttered the word Bosingwa, I said, "Not Yunus." Yunus got it. Yunus won it.
Man, my front three was solid, though. My front three was solid. But ladies and gentlemen, go check that out if you've missed it. In the midfield, I definitely want to start Kante. It's a game that he needs to play. It's a very important game. I want him to play. He's fit. He hasn't really featured in the international scene. And the other player that Kante generally has done well, especially in the Champions League last season, Kante, Jorginho, and this is a combination that I think has worked against Leicester as well. The match against Leicester after the FA Cup. Did we play Jorginho and Kante? I'm pretty sure we played Jorginho and Kante after the FA Cup. We might have played Jorginho and Kante. I think so. Maybe we're not. But at the end of the day, this is probably the combination that I want, along with Chilwell and left wing back. Ishan, what do you have to say about this?
Fully agree, man. First of all, Chilwell has to be there at the left wing back position for sure, and I think so. It has to be Jorginho Kante, having known the fact that Kovacic is not available, and we've got just Ruben Loftus-Cheek as just an argument that you could have whether you want Ruben Loftus-Cheek alongside Jorginho or a Kante alongside Jorginho. So looking at the impact that Leicester brings up in their counter attack, we would require the likes of N'Golo Kante there, and the role that Kante plays, the Kante role,
the ability to break play down, intercept, win balls back. Very crucial against Leicester, man. Very crucial.
Leicester, for sure. And we have to watch Leicester with their counter transition game plays. That is actually mad, and that is something they have in them. Naturally, the likes of Barnes, Vardy, Daka. These guys are fast, man.
Fast.
And Soumare as well. He's a very, very good prospect for them. I think so. Yeah. We need to dominate the midfield, and we need to have the likes of Kante. Listen, there are now very selective games that we need to use the abilities of Kante, and this is one of them. So definitely Kante for me.
No, very, very well said. I like the fact that you said that there's going to be selective games where Kante has to play. This is the one that he has to play. There are going to be games where, for example, Burnley, Kante got a bit of a rest. And I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that because against Burnley's going to sit deep. We don't need a player like Kante. We need more of a player like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. This is a game. I don't mind Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming off the bench, and Ruben has been fantastic. So, he'll be happy with that. I mean, Ishan, let's explore this just quickly before we move on to the forward pack. Great Ehian saying, I would start Kante and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I feel like that's a bit too much of forward thinking. There's no support. There's no sitter. There's no someone who's going to be able to build up from the back. How do you like this combination?
Sorry, what? You're lagging. I couldn't hear you, actually.
how would you like this particular combination between Kante and Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Because I feel like this particular combination, Ishan, is it's a bit too much of a forward-thinking combination. There's no sitter. There's no someone who's going to be helping to build up. There's no someone who's going to be able to soak up the pressure if there is high press.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this combination?
I think so. It's possible. It's not that it's not possible, because if you want, then Ruben Loftus-Cheek can play the register role if he wants, and he kind of combine with Kante, if and switch the gameplay between them. If one stays, the other one goes ahead. If the other one stays, Kante can go ahead if Loftus-Cheek stays, and vice versa. So they can do that, but this is not the team against, and this is not the stadium that you try and experiment that stuff, because definitely you're not gonna, you're gonna expect, first of all, Leicester to, at least press you first, and second of all, they are a heavy counter-attacking team, and they have got fierce pace in them. So you need to counter that, and you need to have the likes of Jorginho to control the midfield. Just take the pace away from the game, and change the possession, or change the whole pace of the game. Take the possession in our hands, build the gameplay from the back, and then try to create things. So I think so. It's not that it's not possible to play Kante and Loftus-Cheek. In fact, I'd be happy to see them together. It would be a good combination and be good learning experience for Loftus-Cheek, if not something.
If it is Loftus-Cheek, he's probably going to be the one who's going to be sitting deep, right?
Yeah, and likewise, miss. It's not that Kante in a whole span of 90 minutes cannot sit at all. If Loftus-Cheek is bombing forward, if Loftus-Cheek is bombing forward, definitely Kante stays. It's similar to the role what Kovacic and Kante does. Kovacic is also a sort of an attacking-minded player, and so is Kante, right? So whenever you see the likes of Kovacic bombing forward, you would see Kante just restrict himself for some time, and then when you see Kovacic, Kante moving forward, you would see the likes of Kovacic sitting in that position and holding that gameplay there. So it's more of a combination gameplay when these two attacking-minded midfielders play at the same time. But at this point of time, if you'd like to say, this game, especially an away game at King Power Stadium, I would have the likes of Jorginho and Kante for sure, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely well said. This is what I would go with as well. Up front is where it gets very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know what you would like your front three. But before you do that, smash the like button. Let's have a quick look. We are only 22 likes away from 100 likes. The aim of the stream is 100 likes, which is going to be amazing if we can get to 100. I know you guys have been enjoying it. Smash the like button to 100 likes straight away. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Make sure you keep subscribing. We are on the way to 9,000. We don't stop here. Check out Ishan and his socials in the description as well. Let's bring up the lineup again. Ishan, I'll let you have the striker first, then I'll have one of the inside forwards, and then you can have the other inside forward. So who's your striker?
Have you got any choice apart from Havertz?
Yeah, there is no choice. Timo Werner, I suppose, but I don't think he'll start.
No, I think so. He won't be 100% match fit, definitely. And even if he is, maybe he'll come after the halftime, maybe after 60 minutes. Yeah. So definitely not Timo Werner, at least not for the start. But yeah, Havertz for sure. And we haven't got much more options. Lukaku's definitely not fit for the game, so he's not.
How are you feeling about Havertz against Leicester? I mean, do you feel he'll probably be up for it? I feel like he'll be up for this particular challenge because we lost to these guys in the FA Cup, so there would be that anger inside us to get one more against them. And obviously, let's not forget what Amati did last season when they won the FA Cup, the disrespect. So you confident with Havertz up front, yeah?
Yeah, I am, but I'm not sure if I'd get that creme de la creme performance from Havertz. I'll be very honest with you, because if you'd say me that we'd expect Havertz to perform against Leicester, I could have said that I would have expected a performance from Havertz against Burnley at Stamford Bridge, right? So that sounds more of a better possibility than this. So this is going to be more of a tough ask and tough task for him. So I'm not sure if I'd expect a proper creme de la creme performance from Havertz, but he's got a goal in the international break, and I hope he does continue his momentum. But I'll be very honest with you. I think so. Havertz, seems kind of tired to me, miss. It seems like he's been overplayed. I've not seen impact wise. Yeah, I think so. He's a bit lagging. We've not seen him, make the greatest of the impact, and that's where my concern is. But I think so. If he just does the job, complement the other, attacking tens, I'd be more than happy. But yeah, if he gets a goal, oh, for sure, that's going to boost his confidence, and he's going to make a mark. And miss, it's not, there's no much time left for Havertz if you consider the fact that Timo Werner is returning, Lukaku's returning,
and it's time now. It's time now to do well.
Yeah, if you don't pick up your form, you just don't get numbers behind your name, the goal numbers, assist numbers, whatever it is.
Others will take your spot.
So it's going to be difficult. Yeah, for sure. Werner's definitely going to be considered. Lukaku, once he comes, you definitely know the fact that once Lukaku comes in, he's definitely going to be the default player in that playing 11, holding that number 9 position. And nobody's going to come in the conversation, right? So when Lukaku takes that spot, so basically you're left with 2 spots, right? And if you're not performing well, with the that number of chances that you've got, it's going to be difficult. So I think so. I just hope he performs well, gets at least a goal or assist. If he gets that tomorrow, definitely he's going to play more in the upcoming games.
Nah, man, 100%. You very well said, Ishan, that this is it, my man. The players are coming back, so it's your time to make sure that you hold on to that position. The way to hold on, goals, assists, and look. It's hopefully going to be a very fluid front 3, and there's going to be a lot of movement. And I hope Havertz does well. I really, really hope he does well. I'm going to take the left inside forward, and it has to be my player at the moment that is doing really well. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Ishan, is the player that I'm going to go with. It's going to be disheartening if he gets dropped. It really will be. I know Christian Pulisic is in the squad and he's fit, but whether he's fit enough to start, I don't know. He hasn't started for USA. He's come off the bench for them. I'm pretty sure soon he'll get a start. But right now, Callum Hudson-Odoi deserves to keep starting, Ishan. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure, man. He deserves it. And I think so. Pulisic, like you said, it's not that he cannot start. He might be probably because he's come off the bench against Burnley, right? And in the dying minutes,
he came off the bench.
And also, he's come off the bench in both the games for his national team. So he's got that up and running. His gameplay, he's got that running. But would he start against Leicester in an away game? Highly unlikely. And looking at the
by the way, bro, this comment's too funny. Look at the profile.
Oh my god.
Man, YouTube is creative. Hello, Ms. Want to join the Squid Games? Man, imagine that. Oh my god. Red light, green light. Oh my days. Go on, Ishan.
Yeah. So I was saying that Hudson-Odoi does deserve ahead of Pulisic, regardless of the fact that if he's fit, if he deserves to start or not. He definitely deserves to, Hudson-Odoi definitely deserves to start ahead of Pulisic at this point of time, and definitely over Ziyech. No sort of arguments regarding that.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, so I think so. Hudson-Odoi has to be there. The only thing that I add that kind of pinches me at this point of time is I also want to see the likes of Loftus-Cheek get some game time, be it in the double pivot position, be it in the 2 attacking tens. I want to see this guy up and running in against Leicester, and it would be a good game for him, because Leicester would be coming at us. It's a high-paced game, counter-attack and counter-transition game. Loftus-Cheek would actually be a good prospect for us for the next for the game against Leicester. But as far as the left-hand side attacking 10 is considered, Hudson-Odoi starts for me for sure.
No, for sure. Ishan, I'll give you the right wing back, right inside forward. Let's see what you have to say about that particular player, and then I'll make my comment as well.
So the other one again, who is left? I'm definitely not going to go for Ziyech.
is left, Mount is left.
I have to go. have to go with Mason Mount, isn't it? Have to go with Mason Mount.
You think he's ready? He's ready to start.
Yeah, for sure. Dental problems, man. Miss, come on, what is that?
He's not going to be biting anyone.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Dental problems, nothing else. So Mason Mount, definitely, he's up and running. He looks good, confident, hungry. That's what Thomas Tuchel said. And
Thomas Tuchel said that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think so. He should be good to start.
You're not going to give my Habibi a chance.
Nah, man, miss, come on. You know that. You know that. Let's not do that. I mean, it's not been the best of him, and probably according to the rumors, he might be looking for some other club.
He might be gone, man. He might be gone.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. We might see him in the second half. There are chances, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he'd start, man.
Nah, man. Look. I don't disregard your choice of Mason Mount. I think he's one of the players that are probably going to be here. I mean, the other one is obviously Ziyech. He's fit, but does he deserve to start?
I think so. Ahead of Ziyech, Miss Pulisic gets the straight in before Ziyech for sure.
Yeah, and Pulisic. I mean, he's such an impact. Look, the thing
he
about
scored
Pulisic
as well
is
for his, in the international break.
Yeah, the clutch goal that he scored.
Yeah.
Was it against Mexico or someone? I can't remember who it was, but yeah.
Yeah, it was Mexico.
Yeah, it was Mexico. So look, the options there are Pulisic, Ziyech, and Mason Mount. As Ishan said, it was a wisdom tooth injury sort of situation. Mason Mount probably might just be buzzing straight back into it. He's been training well. This is what Thomas Tuchel has been saying. Ziyech, there's all sorts of rumors in this international break that he may be gone in the summer next up. There's rumors about whether he might be going on a loan. I know Matt Law came out with an article saying that's probably Chelsea's reluctant to send him on a loan in January. Obviously, we've got a lot of games coming up: FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Club World Cup. So there's probably need for everyone in the squad right now. But the bottom line with Ziyech is that possibly in the summer there could be something happening. So, I could picture Mason Mount starting this. The only reason why maybe Mount and Pulisic may not start is because their fitness. That's the only thing, that they haven't played enough games. But I'm really reaching for it here for Ziyech. But at the end of the day, I think Mason Mount probably will start here. And then, of course, we'll see Pulisic off the bench, perhaps even Ziyech off the bench, and we'll see what happens. Ishan, this is our squad, ladies and gentlemen. This is our team to face Leicester. Mendy in goalkeeper, Rudiger, Christensen, Chalobah, Chilwell, Reece James, Jorginho, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is the crowd sort of shout that's been going around. We're going with Jorginho and Kante. Up front, Callum, Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, Havertz. Let me know what your score prediction is, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments. We're going to bring some of them up. Ishan, I'll go to you first up. What's your score prediction at King Power Stadium?
I think so. This is a tough one, miss. I'll be very honest with you. It's not that I'm low in confidence or something sort of that, but I'm confident. I'm definitely confident. In fact, it was the other way around against Burnley, and I had told you that I was not confident because against low blocks we were not scoring much, and that's exactly what happened.
Score. This is the score I would love to see. By the way, 9-0. 9-0 Chelsea, because it is Leicester's home. But
but it feels like just after international break, it's an away game against Leicester. But we are a superior team, and they're on a bit of a mud there with all the managerial rumors, this and that. But I think so. We're gonna go for a win. I'll say 2-0 Chelsea.
I'll take the 2-0, bro. I will take the 2-0. Roby is saying 3-0. Mizma and Yunus will score. I mean, that would be fantastic. Why not? Eric is saying 4-0. Are you saying 4-0 as in Leicester at home? 4 for Leicester? I hope not. 2-0 for Shubajoti as well. 3-0 for Marvo. Look, defensively, we're very strong.
Yeah.
They're not clicking that well. If Arsenal can put them under the pump, and Arsenal got 2 quick goals, I'm hoping we can put them under the pump. Yeah, I'm sticking with 2-0 as well, Ishan. Obviously, we're going to do the watch along. It's early kickoff as well, so Ishan, you're going to be free for the watch along, yeah?
Yeah. Very good.
Perfect. So we'll be there for the watch along, which is going to be interesting. And obviously, great Ishan will be there. He's always there for the watch along, even when he's at lectures, ladies and gentlemen. Great Ishan goes to lectures. He doesn't attend he doesn't concentrate at the lectures. He's watching the watch along. So it should be very, very great to see. But 2-0 for me, 2-0 for Ishan. A lot of the live chat is saying 2-0, 3-0. Basically, Chelsea victory is predicted, which is fantastic. We need it. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us till the end of the stream. We are 4 likes away from 100 likes. Let's get the likes to 100 straight away. I know you guys have enjoyed this. You guys have been buzzing in the live chat. Roby is saying, Miz, wear the away shirt. Yes, I will. Yes, we are. By the way, Ishan, finally.
Oh, finally.
We're wearing a different.
Finally.
Yeah, we're wearing a different shirt.
We have the solar and lunar eclipse together at the same day that we are wearing the away kit, right? I mean, how many days, how many months it has been?
Been a while.
The first time.
Been a while. Yeah, and the yellow one, so it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's
so
the first time we're wearing this. So iconic day, man, Mr. Tomorrow.
Iconic day. It's going to be a day to remember. Hopefully, we get the victory. Definitely, I'll be wearing the yellow away. So don't you worry about that. So yeah, we've reached now over 100 likes, which is fantastic. Keep smashing the likes. It just helps the channel out a lot. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Check out Ishan and his socials in the description. Hit the bell notification. I may have another video drop later UK time around 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Do look out for that. I could possibly talk about Callum and Hudson-Odoi. I could possibly talk about a few other players as well. We'll see what's happening in the news. Do catch us for the watch along tomorrow. It'll be great to see each and every one of you guys in the watch along, which will be fantastic. Share the experience, share the the emotions of the match with us. Until next time, everyone, take care and see ya.